What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Devin Midrow here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and anything else that the cool YouTube people say. You know what? This is day 8 in a row. By the way, day 8 in a row of making a video. And video 8, and it's pretty bright now. You know, the sun is definitely coming up earlier and earlier, so that's a plus, right, in my favor. Now, you know, most of the mornings when I'm putting these videos on, granted I started this up a little bit later anyway, just because I've been noticing that when I make these really long videos, so if I start, you know, the video right when I leave the house, it takes me about 45 minutes to get to work. 45 minutes, which means that could be a 45-minute video. That's a long video. You know what I mean? That's a long video. I think at this point in time, that's a bit unnecessary, right? It's a bit unnecessary to do such a long video. You know what I mean? I don't think that I'm just not going to be doing that. At least not for a while. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to avoid that. The reason being is because when I go to upload the videos, granted I'm doing it from the phone. So maybe if I did it from the computer, things would be different. It's possible. You know, but you know, I like uploading from the phone. Why? Because, you know, that's the day and age that we're living in, right? Like, when you can run a business off of your phone, that is powerful. I mean, think about that. It fits in the palm of your hand. Everybody got one, you know, just about nowadays, right? I mean, the kids got one. I mean, kids in elementary got a smartphone. I didn't even have a phone until I graduated from high school. You know what I mean? I did not have a cell phone in high school at all. In fact, I don't even think cell phones were a thing. I don't know, some people had a cell phone, and I was just like, cell phone, I don't need I don't need a smartphone. You know, I had a dumb phone for a long time, and I was like, nah, I don't need a smartphone. I'm not missing out on nothing, right? And then I got the smartphone, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. You know, it makes sense, right? It's just like that. But yeah, I'm probably going to keep these videos shorter just so that I could upload them faster. And I'm all about functionality and simplicity, right? You know, I'm really focused on what can I produce with minimal effort. You know, I'm not trying to be lazy, but I am trying to be a hustler. You know what I mean? In fact, maybe not a hustler. What was the word? There's another word. It's I'm not trying to be lazy, but I'm trying to be a slacker. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm trying to be a professional slacker, because there's a difference. Look it up. Look up the dictionary definition of a slacker or lazy, right? Lazy or slacker. You can check that out, and you'll see there is a fine difference, very divine difference between the two. Yeah, so that's the goal right now. So I'll probably keep this shorter. I'm probably not going to push it all the way, because I'm still a ways out from getting to work. But there's something, I had an epiphany. And I think I alluded to it in previous videos, but this is something that I could probably keep this really short, actually, by just putting this out there. And that is, what if somebody told you that they would guarantee that if you made 100 YouTube videos, you would be able to supplement your income? Let's just say you made 100 YouTube videos and you'd be making $5,000 a month off of 100 YouTube videos. I mean, for some people that's like, that ain't enough to supplement my income. All right, whatever you're making. If you're making 10 grand a month, cool. Let's just go with 10 grand, because 10 grand is pretty good. I think for just about anybody, if you can't live off of 10 grand, I don't know. That's you live in a lavish lifestyle at 10 grand a month. You know what I mean? That's good living right there. That's well over 100 figures. You know, that's 120,000 a year, right? You are easily over that mark. But I guess it depends again on where you live and the lifestyle that you live, right? You know, there's little things you can do that can make big differences, right? Well, they say small hinges swing big doors, right? So that's really what I want to talk about today. Just that right there. I had other things that I wanted to talk about, but I was just driving and I was thinking, you know what? Let's talk about this, because this is a big deal. It's everybody's always worried about, well, what if it doesn't work, right? Or they're afraid that they're going to waste their time doing something that doesn't work. And there was somebody that said, his name is Alex Hormozi. I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. Still to this day, I'm pretty confident. If you Google or YouTube it, Alex Hormozi, it's gonna come up. Horomzi, I believe. Hormozi. Mosey. Yeah, I believe that's how you spell it. It's pretty interesting last name. And he said, like, he has a rule that he created. It's like 100 for 100 of 100, I guess it was, or something like 100 for 100. Like you do 100 videos for 100 days, or you send 100 emails for 100 days, or something like that, you know, where you do something consistently for 100 days, right? And if you do that, he said, you know, I believe he said he guarantees, but he said, like, there's just no way that you wouldn't be, you know, successful in that endeavor, whatever you're doing. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just like, you know what? He said to do that. And I'm like, I've heard a lot of people say those things and go, I don't know if I'm going to do it. You know, what if I'm wasting my time, right? Like, what if I do all that only to find out that, oh, you know what? You know, it didn't work, right? Oh, I did that, and guess what? Oh, shoot, what a waste of my time. I did all that for nothing. But in this instance right here, creating YouTube videos, and 100 of them at that, I have enough, you know, history and knowledge and feedback from a lot of other people that even at in the worst case scenario, I'll make 100 videos. Maybe I won't get a lot of traction, but at least I have a YouTube channel, and people are like, hey, can I follow you? Yeah, here's my YouTube channel. Oh, okay. And then they go on, they go, oh shit, this guy got 100 videos on here. Okay. Well, he's definitely doing something. He's not just like, he doesn't have a YouTube channel with like 2 videos or like 7 videos, you know what I mean? Like, and then of course my messages are consistent, right? I'm not all over the place. So if someone comes on and they jump in to my world, my YouTube video world, right? And they're like, let's see what this guy's about. And they can kind of see the trajectory of where I'm going, and they'll be able to align with me or not align with me. It'll be a very simple determination, right? They can go on and they'll see because eventually I'm going to start titling these videos, and I'll start doing thumbnails and make it all fancy and make it, you know, look professional, right? But again, this is just raw and dirty. Take that however you want. I'm just getting 100 videos done. When I get to the 100 video mark, I'll worry about that stuff. I think I've been in the game long enough. In fact, I know I've been in the game long enough where if you worry about all the things being perfect and having everything in place before you start, you ain't never going to start. And matter of fact, Alex Hormozi said this again. Man, a lot of words of wisdom from this guy. He's just, for his age, I've seen a lot of people, I've listened to a lot of people. And like I said, one thing that I will state that I perceived from this individual is his ability to articulate so clearly the how and, you know, the what to do aspect. Like I said, so many influencers, they have these grandiose, you know, speeches and sayings and messages, but you get to the end and you kind of stop and you go, man, that was really great, but I don't even know how to actually do that. But it sounded cool, right? He actually really implements a lot of like, do this. If you do this, this is really what should happen. Like if you follow these steps, you can do it. And it's not even a lot of steps. It's like 1, 2, boom, you got it. You know, and what he said was, most people will learn majority of the thing that they're looking to learn in the first 20 hours. And I'm like, 20 hours? And I'm like, I mean, if you really grind it out a whole day, like you set the schedule and it's like, I'm going to do this for 20 hours. Like I'm going to play the guitar for 20 hours straight. You could pretty much learn to play the guitar in one day. One day. If you just, I mean, you took no breaks. You know, you didn't eat, you didn't take bathroom breaks. Maybe you drank some water or whatever it was, right? You know, water's pretty important. But I mean, that's a real extreme example. But think about it. If he's like, hey, you could learn this in 20 hours, and you're like, shit, I could do that in a day. And you just scheduled one day, nothing on your agenda, and you just crank that out for 20 hours. You can pretty much learn majority of what you need to learn for most things. Yeah, there's going to be other things that are going to be more complex, but to get the base level of understanding, something, you could probably know whether or not you want to do it the next day, and you want to continue that or not. In just 20 hours, in that moment right there, you can get enough information to determine if this is something that you want to continue on and pursue. Right there. Majority of what you need to learn right there. And I thought, like, man, that's, granted that's from that individual's perspective, but I mean, like, I thought about it, I said, well, I mean, how do you find out? You got to do it. Whether it's, you don't have to do it in 20 hours in a day, but if you did it for 1 hour a day, for 20 days, well, you get your 20 hours. And how hard is that? That's 20 days, you know what I mean? That's not that. We're already well over 20 days in 2023. We're almost double. We're almost double that. We're almost at 40 days in 2023 already. So, really, if you think about it, that's the concept. Like, I want to say, like, if somebody told you to do 100 videos and you'd be successful on YouTube, they didn't tell you what kind of content you have to put out there. They didn't tell you the words you have to say. They didn't tell you, they just said, make 100 videos. They didn't even give you the length of the videos you have to make. They just said, make 100 videos and you will be successful. Would you do it? Would you actually go out and do it? What if they guaranteed you? They're like, if you make 100 videos, I guarantee you will be successful. And what does successful mean, right? People are like, well, that's a pretty broad statement, being successful. What does that mean? That could mean whatever success means to you. That's what that means. It could mean whatever success means to you. I mean, maybe that's making 10 grand a month. If you're making 10 grand a month, that means you're successful, right? Bills are paid. You ain't working your job anymore, right? You can pretty much just pursue this business model, whatever you're doing, or just keep making videos, right? What if you keep making videos? What happens? Well, you're probably going to get more views, more people watching. You can start running ads on your videos and making money from ads. And then you can start selling your own products from your videos with links below, like a lot of other people do. And before you know it, you just it's like a snowball. I mean, you got the more people that jump into your videos and watch, the more viewers, the more opportunity you have to sell to a broader audience. And it's just a numbers game at that point. In the game of life, it's really a numbers game when you think about it. If you really have to, again, numbers are constructs that we created, human beings created. But if you have to measure, numbers are a great way to measure. When you get a measuring tape, what's on a measuring tape? It's numbers. You ain't got words on a measuring tape, you got numbers on a measuring tape. You know what I mean? Granted, you might have a few words like, inches, millimeters, centimeters, and all that, right, to determine, what kind of measurements you're actually conducting. But really, it's all numbers, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's all numbers when you look at it. And that's really what, man, I was like, I'm a numbers person too. And it's like, it just kind of blows my mind that I'm a numbers person, and I looked at how successful people became successful, and all they did was put in enough numbers to get there. It's really what it is. It's like that simple. It's like people wonder like what it takes. It just takes perseverance and determination and willpower to do the thing long enough to get the result that you're looking to achieve. There's a really popular statement going around. A lot of people have heard this, I'm sure. I know if I've heard it. I've heard people, recycle this, and it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You know what? Most people are sane in this world. There's not a lot of people that are insane in this world. And the people that are successful, most of them are absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I'll tell you right now. There's not a shadow of doubt that they are. You look at Elon Musk, you look at Jeff Bezos, you look at, Bill Gates and Donald Trump, and you name it. I'm not trying to say this is a negative thing, right? You got to understand, for them to achieve the level of success, to be a billionaire, it doesn't happen by accident. It does not happen by accident. It is by design. It's It's doing the same thing over and over again until you get that result. Now, there's a little tweak to that, right? If you're doing the exact same thing, like you're banging your head against the wall, right? And it's like a steel wall. Obviously, your head's going to lose, and it's going to continue to lose, right? But you got to make slight iterations, right? You got to make small adjustments along the way, right? So it's doing the thing that you want to do, whatever success is to you, right? Whatever your dreams, goals, aspirations are to you. And along the way, understanding that it is not going to be a straight shot. There's not going to be a direct path to success. You're not going to just go, oh, I want to get to that point, and you're just going to go straight line there. That is, even when you drive on the roads, I mean, on the main line, yeah, you got some pretty straight roads on the main line. I'm not going to lie. For miles and miles, you got straight roads. But still, there's always going to be some curves. There's going to be some traffic, right? There's going to be something that's going to obstruct your pathway, right? It's going to slow you down. There's going to be snow, right? There's going to be wind. There's going to be rain. There's going to be all these variables that are going to impact your ability to get from where you are to where you want to be. And you got to have that willpower. You got to have that mentality that you got to accept that you're going to have to do the same thing over and over again. You're going to get beat down. You're going to get shut down. You're going to get, let down. And with all of that happening, you still got to keep going. You still got to push through. Why not? You only live life once. The time is ticking. Nobody's promised tomorrow. So why not go for it? Some people are tired, right? A lot of people are tired. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why, right? It could be medical reasons. It could be just mental reasons. It could be physical reasons. There's a plethora of reasons why everybody's tired. And there's different levels of people who are tired, right? You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh man, I got to get ready, got to go to work. And then I got to take care of the kids. I got to pick them up from school, or drop them off from school, pick them up, take them to the sports. And then I got to, deal with, maybe a family member that's not feeling well. And, some people are strapped for time. I mean, they've got no time to themselves, right? Because of the responsibilities that they have and obligations. That's all real stuff right there. But it's worth it. Life's worth it. No matter where you are at in life, it's worth it. Having another day, the next day, waking up tomorrow, it's worth it. It's worth it to live till tomorrow and live life, even if life's tough. But what I think is really important is to make those small iterations, right? Like, think about life. Life is doing the same thing over and over again, and you're expecting a different result, right? I mean, the days are, granted, again, we constructed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but a day is a day, right? Sun goes up, sun goes down. We're doing the same thing. We're getting up, we're basically doing the same things, right? So what can you do within that day? What can you control? What variable can you adjust? Can you tweak? Can you pivot to make a difference, right? Even if it's a small difference, to make a difference in what the next day, your tomorrow, is going to look like from today. Because you can do that. You can change what your day looks like. I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. I'm not going to say you're going to do something that's going to make a massive change the next day. It could. Some people do. Some people have massive changes, depending on what they do, right? If you want to make big changes, do big things. Make big changes, right? Make it happen. That's what it comes down to. You want more out of life? You got to do more to get more out of life. That's what it comes down to. And I'm gonna cut this video short because, again, like I said, upload times are a tricky challenge. I've been getting it. It's been working, but sometimes it just takes a long time. So biggest thing today is if someone told you, I'm just using this example, but there's so many other examples you could do. If someone told you to get to the success that you want to achieve, whatever success looks like to you. I'm going to use a specific example because some people like to hear specific examples. I know I do. If people are very vague and like, oh, well, whatever it looks like to you, people are like, well, where do I even begin, right? If you were getting 10 grand a month, let's just even go let's go above that. Let's get real bougie with it. If you was making 20 grand a month, what would life look like for you if you was making $20,000 a month? How much would life change for you then? Would you operate differently? Would you do things differently? Would your 24 hours in a day be different if you were making 20 grand a month instead of whatever you're making now? And you were enjoying doing it too. On top of that, let's just put a cherry on top of that sundae, right? If you was enjoying what you were doing, how much of a difference would that make? Think about it. If someone told you to do these things, right? You do 100 actions in 100 days, and you will be making $20,000 a month and enjoying the process. Whoo! Would you do it? Would you actually make it a point each and every day within those 24 hours that we all playing on the same field now? Ain't nobody getting an extra hour in, and if you are, you better tell me where you're getting it, because I ain't getting it. We all on the same field of 24 hours. If you could commit 100 actions in 100 days to get to, again, I'm making this, I'm saying 20,000, and you liking what you're doing to make that 20,000. That's an example. Doesn't have to be that doesn't have to be an example, your example. You could create your own scenario, right? Whatever success looks like to you, that's just an example that I'm creating. And I actually kind of like that idea. I'm like, man, if I was making 20 G's a month and I was enjoying doing the work to get it, whoo, I don't know, doesn't get a whole lot better than that, right? If you start making 30 G's a month or 50 G's a month, at that point, I don't think there's a huge discrepancy between 20 grand and 200 grand a month. I mean, yeah, it changes your way of living, but you're living real good at 20 G's a month. Real good. So I'm going to leave you with that. And yeah, that's it right there. Okay, you guys have a great day. I'll make up some fancy catchphrase one of these days. But until then, aloha.